So Dr. Phil has the UFO files and he got them before you did. He says the White House handed them over early. The White House hasn't said a word. No press release, no statement, no explanation why Dr. Phil. The man who told America to get real is now standing between you and your aliens. So I guess we're listening to Dr. Phil now? I didn't get the memo. Anybody get the memo? We didn't get the memo. I want to be honest with you about where I landed on this because I changed my mind somewhere in the middle of working on it, and you might too. Our government has been putting its UFO records on a public website in batches, somewhere north of 300 files of video and photographs, documents, audio. Some of it was locked away for almost 80 years. The way it works is that they post it, and that's the entire plan. Nobody walks you through what you're looking at. Nobody tells you which case you're reading or what the pilot said or why a 2-page memo about a light in the sky is worth 20 minutes of your evening. They open the door and they walk away. I made an entire video about a glowing orb incident in the Southwest from a single document that was released way back in Tranche 2 that everyone casually overlooked, including me. It wasn't until Representative Burleson talked about it on Jesse Michaels' podcast that he even bothered looking into it. It's a fascinating account and a must-see video. I won't spoil it, but let's just say we know a lot more about glowing orbs than we are saying. So into all that silence walks Phil McGraw. He says he and his production company were given exclusive access to one of those batches ahead of everybody else, handed to them by the White House and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. He said it on his show. He said it on social media. He said it more than once. And he's angry about what he read in a way that sounds pretty sincere to me. His words were that our government has been lying to us for at least 79 years, lying by omission, by misdirection, and it makes him absolutely furious. And yes, somehow Dr. Phil has stumbled his way into the disclosure discussion. I know. Two things that have no business being anywhere near each other, and I laughed the first time I saw it too. But I've been chewing on why it bothers me, and I don't think the problem is the man. Think about who this guy has been for a couple of decades. He's the get real guy. He's afternoon television. He's cash me outside. How about that? He's the one who tells you to stop lying to yourself about your marriage. As far as I can find, he has never once said a serious word in public about any of this. And now he has government UFO files in his hands that you and I have to go download off a Pentagon website by ourselves. The strangest part, though, about all this is the quiet around him. I went looking for the government side of this, and there isn't one. There's not a press release with his name in it, not a statement from the Pentagon, not a word from the Director of National Intelligence. And reporters have asked the White House about it more than once and gotten nothing back at all. So the only person telling you that Dr. Phil was given the UFO files is Dr. Phil. He does have a theory about why they picked him, and he says it right out loud, which I respect. He thinks they gave it to him because they want him doing exactly what he's doing, which is talking about how ordinary people are going to absorb something this big. He's a psychologist by training. He'll tell you he's been in the field 50 years and he stopped renewing his license to practice back in 2006. So you can weigh all of that however you want. This is a man who has the files in his hands and a line to the White House, the one person in the country who could pick up a phone and just ask. And what he's got is a guess. Nobody walked him through the plan. Nobody said, Phil, this is what we're trying to do, and this is what we need from you. Somebody handed a daytime talk show host a stack of the federal government's UFO records and left him to work it out on his own. If you want a reading of how organized any of this is, that's your reading. The guy on the inside is guessing too. And if somebody in that building really did decide the country needs a psychologist for what's coming, and there's a question I can't answer because there's exactly one seat anywhere in the federal government for a person who does what Dr. Phil does, and it isn't his. The House passed a bill setting up a review board for these records, 9 people with subpoena power nominated by the president and confirmed by the Senate. They spelled out in the text who has to sit on it: a national security official, a foreign service officer, a scientist, an economist, a historian, and a sociologist. You can go down that list as many times as you want, and you will not find a psychologist or a psychiatrist anywhere on it. That's the one Congress is building. There is a second body, and it came out of the White House instead. A science council on all of this, 12 people, chaired by Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, advisory only, no subpoena power, no authority to make anybody do anything, reporting up to an interagency board that an intelligence official has confirmed exists. That council has one psychology seat, one. And the woman sitting in it went on Dr. Phil's show, and what she told him is the thing I keep circling back to. She said that as far as she knows, not a single professional psychology organization in this country is doing anything about this. No task force, no committee, no exploratory group, nothing at all. She said she's talked to doctors and lawyers who don't know what the letters UAP even stand for. And she'd written an article asking why the public seems so quiet, and thousands of people answered her. And the answer that came back more than any other was that they're worried about the price of eggs. I think that says a lot. Meanwhile, the government is out there bragging about the numbers. Over 1.7 billion hits on that website, they said. 340 million of them in the first 12 hours. A hit is a request for one file. So a single page with 30 images on it counts as 30 hits, which means not one person on this planet knows how many human beings have actually looked at any of it. Dr. Phil went on television and called them visits. So, picture I'm left with is a disclosure program with nobody assigned to explain it, a review board with a chair for a sociologist and none for a psychologist, a science council with one psychology seat whose occupant says her own profession is sound asleep, and a daytime talk show host who got handed the files and decided the job was his. Either somebody made that call on purpose or nobody made it at all. But I do lean towards on purpose. That's my opinion and not a fact, and you're welcome to tell me I'm wrong. And I'll give you the moment that made me laugh out loud. The middle of an episode about how con artists are going to come for frightened people after all this breaks. How somebody is going to try to sell your grandmother a school bus buried in the mountain. The show cuts away, and Dr. Phil tries to sell you gold. Can't make this up. Now I'm going to say the thing that's going to get me taken apart in the comments section. So have at it. I think this is good. I don't have any particular affection for the man. I know his history. I know exactly how that name lands with a lot of you watching this. But somebody is finally standing in front of the files and explaining what's inside them in plain language to people who were never going to read a Pentagon PDF on a Saturday. And that has been the missing piece of this whole thing since it all began. It just shouldn't have taken a talk show host to do it. The Pentagon has a press office. The Director of National Intelligence has a press office. They made a choice to put hundreds of files out on a website and say nothing about them. And the loudest voice explaining your own government's UFO records back to you is a man who used to do relationship advice at 4 p.m. So yeah, Dr. Phil is all up in my disclosure business, and I think I'm kind of okay with it. Which is probably the strangest sentence I've ever said out loud. But that is just what I think. What do you think? Subscribe. There's way more to come. Check out frayingreality.com for links to all of our socials and the free newsletter for all subscribers. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Did I say it was free? It's free. Push that little button. Click it. And if you don't like it, I will give you your money back. No, I wouldn't do that. It's ridiculous. Anyways, remember, nobody keeps secrets where there are no secrets to keep. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you all. I'll see you again soon.